Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. It's the Ron Van Dam Show.
Hold on tight, things can get a bit weird, if you like that sort of thing.
Hey, how are you? How you doing? Where are you? Oh, you're up there. Hi, welcome to the program. Good, boom. Good to be with you today. How are you? This is the Ron Van Dam Show. For those that are not familiar, this is the Ron Van Dam Show. This is, I do this here once a week, but I do this every single weekday on the platforms, the social things, the, what do you call them? The Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, Spotify, Shopify, Snipify, Liquify, all that stuff. We're on everything. And then we're also on syndicated stations around the country as well. What I do is I come in here and I just summarize what I've done during the week, so to speak, what I did during my vacation, that kind of thing. I talk to people who don't know anything, and I interview people who have no brains, and that's what I do. So welcome to the program. The show is about the things that we all go through in normal everyday life, but we don't talk about it because there's no point. But it does bother us, so you need me. You need me badly. Sounds like the opening to a bad porno movie, doesn't it? Yeah, well, that's what this is. I wanted to talk today about Halloween, because that holiday is coming up. Unless this is a repeat program or a pro-pe, and this Halloween's not coming up at all. But it is, if this is a timely broadcast. Halloween, to me, is the most ridiculous holiday in the world, second only to the second most ridiculous holiday in the world, which would be New Year's Eve. That's where we make a holiday where people actually don't go to work even on New Year's Day because they have hangovers. There's no religious connotation. God is not involved in any sense of the word. You don't go to church. Nothing. It's nothing. It's just celebrating the end of the calendar year. Somebody made up a calendar and said, that's it for this year. Let's start a new one now. And it's a ridiculous holiday. You go out, you drink champagne, and you take the next day off for no reason whatsoever. I don't know. I've said this 1,000 times. New Year's should start the day school goes back into session, like September 5th or something. That should be the start of the year. But it's not, because it's not. So that's the stupidest holiday of all. Don't drink. Don't drink and drive. Don't drink too much alcohol. Don't party too much. But here's a holiday for that. Because, when we celebrate one way and one way only, and that's with alcohol and promiscuous attitudes. That's how we celebrate things. We shout, we yell, we scream, we get out of control. This is a celebration. This is how civilized people show their happiness. Anyway, so that's the stupidest day of the year. This is the second stupidest I get. Maybe, I don't know. They're in close competition. Halloween is just absolutely ridiculous, and I don't understand how this came about. Why we have a holiday to celebrate. I have trouble talking, ladies and gentlemen. That's what I do for a living, but I have trouble talking. Why we do this pagan holiday? I don't understand it. It's a very strange thing that we do. A lot of our social mores and our traditions are very odd. They're just odd. Here's another holiday. There's no religious connotation whatsoever. You don't have the day off because they know this is stupid. But Halloween is, well, let's take it from the top, okay? It's a freaking scary deal. The idea on Halloween is to scare the hell out of you, to make you wet your pants on command. It's just, you have to be frightened if someone comes up behind you and yells in your ear, boo! That's Halloween. That's That's it. To frighten people, put on masks, look grotesque, buy a fake blood and dribble it from your face. Dress up like a monster, like a scary, warty monster, like a witch with a big wart on the face, with a scary axe murderers, Jason and well, Jason could be a nice guy who lives down the street. I shouldn't say that, but that's the name of the character. Isn't that weird that was that Friday the 13th with Jason, or is it Halloween? I confuse the two movies. Both of them, there's like 20 versions of each. But Jason, what kind of name is that? I mean, what kind of name is that for an axe murder? Yeah, they arrested. He killed like 50 people. What's his name? Jason. It's Jason. What if your name is Jason? Anyway, yeah, it's all scary stuff. It's meant to scare the hell out of you. It's murder and mayhem and slaughtering people and ugly monsters and ghosts and goblins scare the hell out of you. But it's made for kids. It's so stupid. This is the most traumatic, imaginary stuff that can go on in a human's mind. But it's a kid's holiday. We make it for the kids. What? Why do we want to scare the hell out of kids? What's the deal with that? Oh, we love these precious children. Raise them properly, give them plenty of morals, keep them close to your bosom, and love them and coddle them. Halloween, scare the hell out of them. I don't understand it. I don't get it. But kids love the costumes. They love to dress up in costumes. They love that. Kids always love that. That's fine. But the costumes are absolutely disgusting sometimes. They're superheroes, they're witches, they're goblins, they're horrible things. I'll tell you a funny story that's not funny. It's a little bizarre. By the way, if children are watching this show, get them out of here. This is not for them. Halloween may be for them, but to dissect it, that's not for them. That's not for them. I'm sitting in my house, the doorbell rings, all right, and I go to the door. It's Halloween. And there's a girl standing there. She's about, I'd say 12 years old. I'm not good at age guessing. I could never work at carnivals, that guess your weight kind of thing, guess your age. I'm horrible at that. I don't know. I guess somebody's weight. You weigh like 200 pounds? No, I weigh 120. Oh, I'm sorry. Guess your weight is just, at a carnival, that's just an insult area. Hey, you want to be insulted about your age or your weight? Go see that person. They'll guess wrong and embarrass the hell out of you, make you feel like terrible. Here, let me guess your age. Your age is, your age is 12? No, your age is 32. No, I'm 12. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Oh. Anyway, I'm not good at that stuff, but this girl looked like she's about 12 years old. And I opened the door, and she's standing there, and she's wearing a sexy nurse costume. All right, look. I don't know who these parents are, but they let their kid go out dressed like a sexy nurse. I mean, I didn't complain, and she got a lot of candy. I'm just saying, it's just wrong. It's just wrong. I don't know how this holiday turned into this kind of thing. But anyway, so, they dress the kids up, and the kids have to wear these masks. And you know that the number one hazard on Halloween is tripping on somebody's stairs or a crack in the driveway or there's slippery leaves all over the place that time of year. That's the number one hazard of a kid falling down. So what do? Let's make it a little more difficult for them. Let's make it an obstacle course. And let's put a blindfold on them, or a mask with 2 little slits in it, and then shove them onto your property for insurance purposes. It makes no sense. Yeah, I give them candy. I give them candy. I try to give them healthy candy, stuff that doesn't have too much sugar in it, because I know that parents on Halloween, all they need really to do is make sure their kids have plenty of sugar to make them hyperactive. That's all that parents want. Hey, it's bedtime. I can't go to sleep. I'm wired. No, it's just odd. The dentist loves Halloween. Yeah, don't give your kids too much sugar. Keep them away from candy. And now let's make a holiday for that, where they get a lot of candy. Makes no sense. I try to give the kids, when they come to the door, I don't give them candy, I give them healthy food. I think last year I gave them moussaka and a side salad. And when I dumped it into their pillowcase, they were not happy. Yeah, kids go door to door with their pillowcases. It's like they're robbing a bank or something. All right, put the money in the bag and wait about 2 hours before you call the cops. Otherwise, you're toast. Put the money in the bag. That's what we do. You give them candy. And, parents, their entire lives with their children, what do they say to them? Do not talk to strangers. Don't go to strangers' houses. Do not talk to strangers. And then Halloween comes, go to strangers' houses, please. You go. I don't know who lives in there. Doesn't matter. Just go. Go. I don't care, whatever. It's Halloween. Deal with strangers. Otherwise, no strangers. Strange. It is strange. And the parents, they know that this is a very dangerous, ridiculous holiday. They know this. So what do? They call them helicopter parents because they actually rent helicopters and they hover above. No, they stand out in the street when their little precious children walk up to strangers' homes and voluntarily knock on the doors. Hi, I'm a little child. I am a little child. Open up. It doesn't make any sense. Yeah, so the parents stand in the street and they make sure that their children come out alive. Is pretty much it. I mean, I don't. It's a crazy, crazy holiday. I'm not into it, man. Not into it. When I was trick or treating, by the way, that's what they call it, trick or treat. I think originally, if you don't give them candy, which is the trick part. No, that's the treat part. I'm sorry. I get this confused. There's only two options, and I get them confused. The treat part is the candy. The trick part is what prostitutes do. I don't understand that part. I don't get that, the trick thing. Hello, mister. Trick or treat. Trick or treat. Well, I don't have any treats, but I have a few tricks up my sleeve, if you don't mind. Look, a coin came out from behind your ear. That's a good trick. Okay, now get the hell out of here. And by the way, as a guy sitting in a house, getting up every time the doorbell rings is really a pain in the ass. I mean, Halloween should be like from 6 to 7 o'clock at night, and that's it. After that, we ain't opening the doors anymore. I mean, you got an hour, collect what you can. It's like supermarket sweep. It's like, just do what you can in an hour and then get the hell off my property. It's very, very strange. The whole concept of Halloween, man, it's just odd. The movies are so scary. Halloween, Friday the 13th, Friday the 14th, it's even scarier the day after. There's slasher movies where they take the machete and someone's head goes rolling off into the gutter, and then they scream, and there's ghosts and murder and mayhem and chainsaws all over the place. It's just I don't understand that. I never understood that let's scare the hell out of each other holiday. I never got that, because murder's a horror. If that actually happened, if that actually happened in your town or your neighborhood, where these children and these adults were being slaughtered, like every there's heads rolling all over the place and blood and guts. I mean, if that happened in your neighborhood, it would not be considered entertainment for the family. But we somehow in our society have this thirst for violence. And as you know, in our country right now, violence is a problem. It's a problem. When something violent happens, we get sad, we're torn apart, our lives are ruined forever. What would you do for entertainment? Let's watch that. Let's watch people being killed. Oh, it's fun. Why is that fun? Who came up with this? As a society, we should not want to watch stuff like that. The video games, you know that deal. You know the whole deal with the video games. People have been talking about that for decades. Video games are violent. Horrible things happen in video games. But they're cartoon characters. They're little 3D animation digital things. And I think that a human being can discern a difference between that and an actual human being. But when you go to the movies and you watch these actors and actresses portraying these murderers and these innocent victims. No, don't go. No, he's standing behind the curtain with a knife. No, don't go to the window. Oh, no, oh, no, you didn't listen to me. I was shouting at the movie theater screen and you're still stupid. Well, she deserved to die because she's so stupid to walk to the window when there's a guy with a knife behind. Oh, my God. What are we doing? What are we doing? Why do we find that to be entertaining? Why do people love these murder mysteries? They're on TV every night on the networks. Is there one show? There's what is that? Law and Order SVU, Law and Order SUV, where they kill people in SUVs. And then you've got the CSI SUV, all kinds of letters. And people you got CSI Hawaii, CSI Los Angeles, CSI New Orleans, CSI New York, Law and Order New York, and Law and Order Alaska, Law and Order Swampscott. I mean, oh my God, they're all over the place. And in every single one of them, somebody is murdered, and very often violently, or there is like someone walks into a bank and starts shooting people, and then they have to solve the crime. Why do we watch them? Why do we watch these things? If that actually happened, it would traumatize us for the rest of our lives. Why do we seek out that as entertainment? That's what I'm asking you, and you're not talking to me. When I was young, before we get into that, let's run a commercial because I'm getting all upset. I don't want to upset myself to any great extent because that just makes me angry. How about this?
Looking for a fun night out? Check out that bar near your house, now featuring live entertainment all weekend. Friday night, it's one guy and a guitar playing 90s cover tunes and original songs about his recent breakup. Catch a dose of classic rock on Saturday nights with that band fronted by that chick you knew in high school who's still pretty hot after a couple drinks. Sunday afternoons, it's three old guys and a hipster doing their very best to play jazz. And don't miss the big hot Sunday dance party with your DJ, the bartender's second wife's stepson with those weird things in his ears. It's all happening this weekend at that bar near your house. Not too far to drive, just a little too far to walk. We'll see you there.
Yeah.
Sure, I like a good burger. But for me, sometimes the best part of the burger gets left on the grill. That's why I'm headed to Burger Guy to try their new Big Gristle Deluxe. A full half pound of hand-scraped grill-hardened gristle, machine-pressed into a greasy patty, and smothered with Burger Guy's signature something-like cheese sauce. And for a limited time, it's just $5.99 with a metric ton of fries and keg of soda. Sound good? Yeah, no kidding, huh? Hey, I'll see you at Burger Guy.
For a limited time only at participating Burger Guy restaurants. Please consult with your physician before ingesting reconstituted meat byproducts such as gristle. Burger Guy, something like cheese sauce, has not been entirely approved for human consumption by the FDA.
Okay. Anyway, when I was trick-or-treating when I was a little kid, Halloween, there was a thing called UNICEF. That stands for something. United Nations Incredibly Children's Educational Fund. I don't know. I don't know what it stands for, but it's UNICEF. It's still around, but they don't send kids out begging for money anymore. They leave that to the adults. We used to collect pennies. When we would go to the door, we would get candy, and then we'd come out with this canister and saying, we're collecting for UNICEF. And you could see the adults going, oh, great. And they would throw some pennies in there, and then the schools would depend on children to be honest, because there was no way to track that money. People are just throwing coins into a can. I mean, seriously, if you weren't well off, very tempting, very tempting. Let's see, the United Nations Children's Fund, or me eating at all. Yeah, but kids were very honest back then. It was a different time and place. When we collected money, I used to go around saying, no, UNICEF is taking it a step up. Now we're collecting $10 bills, please. $10 for the poor children, please. That didn't work. The adults didn't catch on to that. They did catch on to it, is what they did. And they said, hey, wait a minute. This is for coins. What do you mean $10? Then I would get home with my pillowcase full of candy, and dishonestly, my parents would say, give us all the candy now, because we can't have you eating candy all night when you go to bed. And I would give them the candy that I had pre-sorted before I got back home. The really good candy that I planned to eat that night in my bed, I kept in a separate place. And the parents would collect my pillowcase, but I'd have my own stash, and I'd bring that up to bed, and in the morning I was sick. I dined on Kit Kats. And that was a lesson. Pain for that still. Still have a little upset stomach from that to this day. Yeah, Halloween is just a weird deal, I'm telling you. The other thing around this time of year that bothers me, because everything does. Actually, everything doesn't. I just make it sound like it is so that I have material to do the show with. Otherwise, I'm a fun-loving person who loves everybody, blah, 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 blah. Pumpkins. I don't know why this particular gourd has become so popular. There's pumpkin picking. There's pumpkin beer. Who thought? Who would think that you take beer and put a little pumpkin in it? I don't know who came up with that, but very popular. Everything's orange. Everything's pumpkin. Everything's pumpkin-flavored everything. Pumpkin-flavored liqueurs. Pumpkin-flavored drinks, which I happen to like. Everything's pumpkin pie. Pumpkin everything. Pumpkin transplants. There's pumpkin cars. Everything's pumpkin. And at a point, you get a little bit of sick of the pumpkin. Because basically, if you've ever tried to hollow out a squash, it starts stinking after like 2 hours. And then on top of it, you put candles in it. You're going to have some stinky vegetable on your porch is what you're going to do. But people love to carve the pumpkin. It's so stupid. Who would have thought? Who would have thought that that the human beings of today who are civilized would actually start carving out pumpkins and making faces on them? A little bizarre. I'm telling you, if aliens, not the ones from Mexico or anything, but if the actual aliens from other planets arrived here, which they probably have, and saw us carving out pumpkins, they'd probably go back and say, these people are screwed up. don't even vacation on that planet. They are weird people. Because they are. Because they are. You know it's true. Don't kid yourself. So, ladies and gentlemen, Halloween around the corner. Wonderful. That's great. Have a good time. Just be really, really careful. In my neighborhood, it depends on the age of the children. If the children are it starts out as a very busy Halloween, and then these children, you're familiar with the children, right? The small little things with the little heads. Children. They grow up and they go to college. They don't do this trick-or-treating anymore. And all of a sudden, it's a ghost town. Ghost town. Nobody's there. They've all grown up. Sad. I'm not crying. I have something stuck in my throat. I think it's pumpkin. Adults. Halloween. Crazy. Another reason to have a party. Adults love Halloween. They get drunk, they have parties, they dress up in strange things, they put makeup on. It's almost like they have professional makeup artists. Some of these costumes are like scary as hell, and then they go to a party and they drink a lot, and they have punch bowls. After COVID, I don't think punch bowls should be allowed anymore. I don't want people dipping their ladles into something that I'm drinking. It's a little disgusting. It's no more communal drink stations, You go to some of those restaurants, they have the scorpion bowls. Oh my God. That's decadent. They give you like 2 big straws and a bowl. It's like drinking out of the toilet. And you get really, well, I'll let you fill in the blank. The first word is blank, and then it's faced after that. And people are out of control. They're just out of control. Yeah, adults love Halloween. Adults, like, as I said at the beginning of the show, adults love any reason to have a party. They just, well, I don't know, bar mitzvah? Let's get drunk. It's just very, very odd. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm almost out of time. I think I've milked this subject to its final milking platform. I'm done with this. If you have any Halloween stories, don't contact me. I'm not that kind of person. On other radio shows, they say, hey, if you have a funny Halloween story, send it to, and they have an email, and they don't read them. They just go right into junk mail, because it is junk mail. So don't bother with your funny Halloween stories, because they're only funny to you, not funny to anybody else. You ever tell a funny story to somebody, and you can tell after you told it that they don't laugh, they just kind of like smile a little bit and nod. No, that was not the reaction I was going for. I was looking for you to laugh hysterically, as I did when that happened to me, but instead, you gave me a nod and a little smile like, yeah, uh-huh. That's not good enough. Answer is, don't tell stories like that, and they won't berate you and placate you in that manner. I do it, when people are talking to me, I don't want to be rude and say, I don't find you fascinating in the very least. Can we get on with our lives separately? I don't do that. I simply nod, and I smile, and I go, really? Oh, oh, I do a lot of that. But the person telling the story never seems to pick up on my sarcasm and the fact that I am basically placating them. They don't pick up on it because they're too into their stories. It's interesting, ladies and gentlemen. I'm out of time for today. Have yourselves a wonderful day. And as usual, what do they say? I wish you peace. Take care. Here we go.